Big Drew, Tight Lifestyle is Friday 1 to 10. This is Tight Lifestyle every Friday. Check us out at 2 p.m.
What's up, guys? John here with Big Drew, Tight Lifestyle.
Big Drew, Tight Lifestyle is Friday 1 to 10. This is Tight Lifestyle every Friday. Check us out at 2 p.m.
What's up, guys? John here with Big Drew, Tight Lifestyle.
What's up, guys? John here, Titan Lifestyle with Big Drew.
What's up, guys? It's Friday. It's Titan Lifestyle. We're back again. Great topics. It's 85 degrees and sunny in Florida. I feel bad for the rest of you guys. I had to rub it in. I had to.
It's true, man. It's true. Literally, like one of my friends from up north, like in Chicago area, his daughter just decided she was gonna come down. He texted me on the way up here. He's like, yeah, my daughter in town. I'm like, dude, have her come by. I'm gonna send her home with some Titan gear. And I'm like, how nice is it down here? She's like, man, it's so nice down here. I'm like, man, you picked a perfect weekend. 88 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some nice weather.
It definitely cranked back up. I didn't notice it before I came outside. I was taking a shower. I always have the AC freezing.
Yeah.
As soon as I step outside, I was like, wow, yeah, it's back. The heat is back. I love the heat. I love the sweat. I love to stay in the sun. So
What's up, everybody? Join us. Thank you. Hyper Massage, Denver, Ironworker, Ricky Rude, A. Conley,
Art.
Ali Cars, Big Guy 45, Fest 786, Proof is in the Pump, Boys, Toddles, Turbo, King Savage. What's going on, y'all? How you guys doing? So, Titan Lifestyle Big Drew. Today we're going to talk about a whole bunch of awesome topics out there. Some crazy, some good ones.
Yeah.
But first, before we do, we always like to talk about the therapy of the week. So this therapy of the week actually includes 3 different therapies, right? Really, really awesome therapies, and put together are just the trifecta. So we had to call it the Titan Trifecta.
Yes.
It was only fitting.
yeah,
Right.
it's a good name. It's a good name.
So with this, the Titan Trifecta consists of Hercules Potion, ECA Stack Plus, and Titan Complete. 2 of them are awesome, signature, custom Titan Medical Center, vitamin amino acid, injectable blends that are just awesome all together. We'll talk about what's in them. And then the ECA Stack Plus, which is just a game changer for weight loss, energy, and focus. So breaking these down, I utilize all 3 of these injectables. Titan Complete, I take in the morning.
Right.
ECA, I take in the morning. I usually take it on an empty stomach before I start my day. And then Hercules Potion right before training sessions, about 45 minutes. That's when I bang those bad boys out and just get, just awesome workout all together.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you guys work out in the morning time, because like you said, it's best take your Titan Complete in the morning, or your Super Titan, any type of multivitamin type things we have, it's best take it in the morning, give you energy throughout the day.
Yep.
I train in the morning, so this is perfect for me. I get my pump, I get my ACAs, I get my vitamins first thing in the morning. And like John said, guys, when you take it on an empty stomach, the other day I heard someone say, I want to take my ECA on an empty stomach, but I need to eat. How can I do this? Simple. Take your ECA, wait 20 minutes for that tablet to be dissolved, and then it's kicked in, then you can eat your food. That way it won't affect your the absorption.
Yep.
You're still going to get the same benefits from it. Now, if you take it with the food, it might be a little bit longer to break down in there. But it's simple. Just take your capsule, ECA capsule, wait 10 minutes or so till it's in your system, and then you can eat. You're still going to get the energy from it. That's what I do, because I can't go to the gym. Like certain days I have to have food in my system, so I can't go fasted. But I want to get the energy, so it's like I have to time it right. Take the capsule, wait 10, 15 minutes, and you're good to go.
Definitely the best way to do it for sure. What Drew said, man. That's what I'll do. I'll literally take it, and like literally 20 or 30 minutes later, I'm done with my shower. I'm going downstairs. I'm going to eat my meal before I hit the door, and I'm out on the way to the road. So that's really the best way to take the ECAs. But if you're sensitive to stimulants, so, you're having problems with even a coffee, right? You might want to take it with some food.
Right.
Before you take it. At that point, it'll curb the strength of it pretty much of what you're going to get, the absorption rate.
Yeah, I would definitely test it out at first. It's not just the caffeine that stimulates, the ephedrine too.
Yep.
So a lot of times people say, I can have caffeine, I'm good with caffeine. I used to drink energy drinks all day, I drink coffee. The ephedrine is a different type of stimulant.
Yep.
So test it out first to see if you're good with it. I'm fine with it. I've never had any problems with ECA. I took 2 by accident one time. I don't recommend that.
Oh, no.
And even by me taking, it was by accident. Afterwards, I was like, damn, I took 2. Because I put one down. I had it ready to go. I ate my meal. I took one.
Yeah.
And when I looked back, the other one was gone. Wow, I took 2. even from me taking two, which I don't recommend.
No.
I still wasn't all messed up.
Not at one time. Definitely
Yeah, I
not.
still
Definitely
wasn't
not.
messed up.
You could be a big Drew. That's, you know,
I
he's used to
definitely
taking
don't
some of these
recommend that,
stimulants.
though. I definitely don't recommend it. To me, I mean, I didn't really notice that much of a crazy difference.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like wasting your money anyways. You might as well just take one in the morning and one 8 hours later if you
You
want.
probably won't feel too good if you're not used to that many stimulants at one time.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm used to it, guys. I've been taking stimulants for a while now. So, and
Yeah.
plus, I'm 300 pounds.
Yes.
I'm used to taking this stuff every single day. So, if you're a 120, 150 pound woman that
Nah.
doesn't drink coffee, that doesn't drink energy drinks, that, you know, can't really have all that, then, you know, you might want to
You'll know your
tone
tolerance.
it down a little bit. You could also
Absolutely.
talk to your medical provider, too. They could dose it dependent to you. It
Absolutely.
doesn't have to be 200 milligrams.
No.
It doesn't have to be 30 aspirin. You can take that out. We can gear it how you want it, guys, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what up, Paul? What up, Fez? Mel Ray, Hulk Squad. What's going on, brother? How you doing? God Power, big guy, 45. We'll answer that question real quick. Mike LM, Abraham, Double J12, Mark. What's going on? Holden Outlaw, Caden. All right, we got all kinds of people on here. What's going on, guys? All right, so let's answer some of these questions because we're getting some questions in here. All right, so what size needles do you guys use for your pump products? So for the normal patient, usually for Hercules Potion or Time Complete or any of those different vitamin amino acid injectable therapies, we usually use a 30 gauge, 1 inch, or excuse me, half inch, 30 gauge, half inch, 1 ml syringe. You can use whatever syringe you want, but it doesn't have to be a big 23 gauge needle to inject these.
Yes.
You
You,
know,
don't
so-
need a number 2 pencil
Yes.
to push something that's water based, guys.
Right.
Another thing too is it's a lot of times I hear people say it doesn't bother me the prick. It's not the prick so much as the scar tissue.
Yes.
So if you guys using a 21 or 22 gauge
Oh,
over and
God.
over again in the same spot, what happens is it's putting a big hole. And then the
Yes.
needle comes out and it doesn't close up all the way. A smaller hole, it just closes up right away. So
Right.
it's not about the pain; it's about the scar tissue. You don't want to have scar tissue in there,
Right.
because then you'll have little hard lumps and stuff, and you have to go around them. So, the smaller the needle, the better. But
Absolutely.
you can't push oil-based stuff through a 30 gauge.
No.
If you guys are prescribed HRT, you get a 30 gauge needle, the ones with the little orange tips. I did it by accident one time. I thought it was my Hercules, and I tried to pull the Cypionate. It took me all day, guys. It's not going to work.
Yes.
It's not. And don't backload it. Do not ever backload.
No, I mean,
Don't backload.
I've heard a lot of these guys doing backloads and all. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't be messing around with that.
Yeah,
You-
what I mean by backload is when you, and I don't recommend this, don't
pull
do this
off
at all. You get an
the end of that
abscess, you get an
syringe.
infection. They pull the back side of it out because they can't
Stopper.
get it through the bottom part, and they just dump it in the back side of the syringe, put the stick back in there,
Yep, stop
and
it,
that's
yep.
terrible because everything's open, everything's contaminated, nothing
Yeah.
is, and not only that, then you're pushing so hard that oil to get through the 30 gauge.
Absolutely.
You know, I would recommend anything oil based.
It's tough.
23 gauge.
It's tough.
23 gauge is like the standard. I could do 25s because I'd rather push a little bit longer
Yeah.
and have less scar tissue.
Yeah.
So I'd rather push just a little bit longer and have less of a hole
Mm-hmm.
than some guys just like to just push it all in right away and have scar tissue. So.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, when you're talking about like water-based, like the vitamin amino acid injectable therapies, now medically, like by textbook definition, if you're doing an intermuscular injection, you're supposed to do at least a 1 inch, 23 or 22 gauge, even a 1.5 inch, depending on what muscle group you're doing.
Yeah, I use 1.5 only for my glutes.
Yeah, then
Only
that's
for my
usually
glutes.
standard for glutes and stuff like that. Now for testosterone for our patients, it's usually a 23 gauge, 1 inch syringe, 3 ml. But for the vitamin amino acid injectable therapies, use a smaller gauge, guys. I promise you. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm big. You see this guy? Like, he's big, right? He's bigger than most of you guys out there, whether you're obese or you're not obese and you're jacked. He's pretty much bigger than most of you guys out there. So at that point, if he doesn't have problems doing it,
Right.
none of you guys are going to have problems doing it. Unless you really do have a lot of body fat on you. It might be hard. You might be getting subcutaneously some of that, some of the medications in there. If it does happen,
Right.
it's going to absorb. It might not feel good for a little minute, but it's going to absorb in there. It's going to simulate in the body. And you're not going to have any problems. Where oil is going to be, it hardens up in there. And it takes a
Right,
lot
right.
longer to assimilate into the body and absorb.
And plus, too, when you do an oil-based injectable, don't just do it and sit down. A lot of times I hear people say, yeah, I take my shots before I go to bed.
Yeah,
Or I
that's
take
not
my
good.
shots before I go to work, and I sit in the car and drive for an hour.
Yeah.
You want to be moving that muscle around and get the oil worked in there. And you can kind of hit your hand a little bit. Or I like to use like a fist, an open hand or open fist,
Yep.
and just kind of hit the air that way. It just spurts out. A lot of times people will take their thumb and they'll push in on the injection spot to try to work it in there. But what happens is this is the oil. When you push with your thumb, it's like a water balloon. It goes side to side. If you just hit your hand like with a fist, it'll just spurt it out more and then move around. So if you take your shots in your glutes or even your legs or your arms, after you do it, move around a little bit.
Absolutely.
Just get the flow in there. You know, if you do your trap, move it. If you do your shoulder, move it around.
Absolutely.
Don't just do a shot and then lay down.
No.
Because it's going to, and God forbid you have some stuff that's not, you know, pharmaceutical quality. You're going to start crystallizing in there.
Oh,
You have
man.
that's a whole nother show.
Whole nother
Whole
ball
nother
game.
show.
It could be in there forever at that point,
Yeah,
hardening up
yeah.
in there. So, you know, when you're doing stuff like that, you know, usually pharmaceutical based, you're not going to have problems with crystallization.
Never.
But it can harden up in there and it make it not feel good for a couple days, 4 or 5 days. So, like he's saying, like when you inject in there, you want it to disperse properly. And when you do that, you're usually moving around the muscle. I mean, if you're on the glute, you're taking it in the morning, you're walking around all day, you know, you're getting stimulation, it's moving through there, it's absorbing properly. You know, you're not going to have those problems. If you take it before you go to bed and you lay there all night, it's not going to have that same movement and it's not going to get absorbed by the body the exact same way. So it's always better. If you're doing your shots in the adult, move it out.
Yeah,
move
it around, work it in there.
You know, another thing is when you take the glute shots, these, you know, those massage guns now.
Yeah.
Dude, use a massage gun. Like, that's really good stimulation as far as absorbing. If you have time, and I don't, but if you do it for like 2 minutes after you do the injection. It'll get absorbed in there properly, and it'll, you know, disperse the medication like it should.
Yeah, I have a little routine where I got a little routine when I do my glutes. I'll do like 10 body squats deep.
Oh, really?
Just to work it in there. And then I'll go in the kitchen and I'll just walk around the island a couple times.
There you go.
Just to work it in. Like sometimes I'll even sit in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
And I'll do glute kickback so I can see the glute, so I can see it working in there.
There you go.
Like I go overboard because all it's going to take is one bad injection.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to say, I hate shots, they hurt, this and that.
Yeah.
If someone does their first injection, it's a bad one,
Yeah.
it messes them up forever.
Yeah.
But then again, if you do your first shot and it goes smooth, no pain, no discomfort, everything's good, no swelling, no itchiness, no irritation, then they're like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So one bad injection, I would go overboard with the massaging it in.
Try to massage it
Yeah.
in, you know, and then if you do get a painful injection, right? Like PIP, that's what it's called. But if you get that painful injection in the site and it stays there, best thing to do is like foam roll it out, massage it out. I know it'll hurt, like you're putting pressure on it, but massage it out very lightly. Have maybe your partner do it if you can't do it. Baths. So at that point, you guys want to get a hot Epsom salt bath. Try to have it. What happens is when you get in there, testosterone is made underneath heat. So like if you're in a cold state right now, like New York or Chicago, and let's say you get your medication and it's half frozen because FedEx left it on the doorstep all day long. If you put it underneath heat and you swish it around a little bit, it's going to be fine. The medication is going to thaw out properly. It's made underneath heat and it's going to circle around. So if it's in your body and it hardens up, if you get into hot water, what's going to happen is you can massage it.
Yeah.
You know, massage it down. Make sure
sauna or something like that.
Yeah, make
something
sure
where
you massage it down so it's going down, because if you massage it up towards the back, you're going to feel it. Like, have you ever felt it in your back, like medication?
No.
So I've had medication, you know, from pharmacies before that we don't use, and this is like when we first started, we were trying different pharmacies, and it would like almost crystallize in there. And at that point, like I'd get in a hot bath and I'd massage it like up and down, and literally like a pancake, you know, you flatten it out.
Yeah.
That's how it felt, like in my back all the way down to my leg. So I've definitely had that stuff. It's definitely an issue. All right.
Yeah, what he means by heat it up too, you guys, just if you get a coffee mug and if you're in a cold weather state, if it looks like it's a little bit frozen, don't put it in the microwave and heat it up. Get a coffee mug. If your tap water runs real hot, just use that.
Yeah.
Put it in the coffee mug and then use your hand. Don't submerge the thing fully.
Do
Just the
not
glass part enough to reach it. Put it in there and just move it around a little bit. Just move it
swirl
around, swirl it around, or just stick it inside, like, you know, in a warm spot. Basically, just let it thaw out.
Yeah.
You don't want it to thaw out in you.
No, definitely don't. Don't inject it. Don't pull from it. Let it thaw out, you know, in your
If it
room.
looks foggy, if it looks funny, you know,
Yeah.
just wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes time, and when it gets warmer again, will clear it up so it won't
Yeah.
be as foggy. Just give it a little bit of time.
Absolutely. If you guys have questions in your patients at Titan Medical Center, call us or text immediately. We'll be happy to walk you through all this and more, okay? Hulk Squad, what's going on? So he had a question. So what if you train twice a day? What should I do for using the trifecta?
I'd still take it in the morning.
Absolutely.
I would still take it in the morning.
Absolutely. You're getting your day started. You're getting it in you right away. You're rocking and rolling. I mean, with Hercules Potion, let's talk about Time Complete. First one, MIC, B complex, B12, the 3 branched chain amino acids, and L-carnitine right away. ECA, bam, you're going. Energy focus, ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. And then if you're working out in the morning like Big Drew, you got Hercules Potion to back you up. Glutamine, arginine, ornithine, lysine, L-citrulline, proline, taurine, NAC, and L-carnitine again.
You guys are getting a grocery list.
Oh,
with
man.
This.
I mean, that's definitely
Just
it.
with Titan Complete alone, you're getting a grocery list. Then
For
you
sure.
got the ECA, this and that. Now, is this something that someone could take twice a day?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So Hulk Squad, I'm not sure who asked this.
Hulk Squad,
Hulk
yeah.
Squad asked this. So if you could take it twice a day. I mean, if you wake up in the morning 8, take it at 8 in the morning, and
You
take
can
it again
double
at
up
5
on
or 6
all
at
these
night.
therapies.
Yeah.
Even the ECA Stack Plus, you take
Yeah.
one in the morning, then take one in the afternoon if it's a high dose. That's
Yeah.
totally fine. We definitely can do that. So that's not an issue. And then Hercules Potion Time Complete, bam. I mean, you can do that right away too. So it's totally upon the user as far as that goes. And as far as the ECA Stack, just make sure that you're able to do that through the medical provider because that's a little bit different than the other ones.
One thing I will say about ECA as opposed to the typical pre-workouts powders that people take, because a lot of time people they say ECA is kind of like a pre-workout. They put those two together.
Yeah.
ECA will keep you going a lot longer than pre-workout has.
Oh, for sure.
When I take pre-workout, I get amped up for like an hour,
Yep.
maybe an hour and a half. After that, it's like crash.
Yeah,
ECA
man.
is like a slow, steady go. So me and John have events. We're at the beach. We have something to do in the morning. Then we're at the beach filming, and then we have a show at night, and then we go out with the team and this and that. I take one in the morning. I set my alarm for 8 hours later, and I take another one, and it literally keeps me going up. Now, if I were to take pre-workout that same way, take a scoop or 2 in the morning, then take a scoop or 2 at night. First of all, I'd be sick and nauseous, and it wouldn't keep me going. I'd be up and then down and then up and down. ECA is like a clean energy, but it's not going to give you that crazy, 400, 500 milligram boost.
Yeah, you're not getting those spikes.
Right. But it's better energy. Ephedrine is better energy than just caffeine.
And helping with weight loss too, with fat burning properties there. So I mean that's just awesome. Empowered Bodies, what's going on, Ashley? How you doing? Mark Bucchetti's in the house. We got everyone. And then Fez 786 says Titan Complete and Hercules Potion changed my life.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Like it. How did it change your life?
Yeah, because listen, it's changed my life for sure. My workouts, my energy, as far as when I'm taking it supplementation wise. I mean, this is just some of the ways it's changed my life. Obviously, health wise, so there's a lot of different things that I get benefit out of these different things.
I know Hercules Potion and ECA has had me. I mean, I haven't gone to a supplement store like that alone. I mean, you guys are spending so much money.
Seriously.
If any of you guys write down ingredient, what's in Hercules, what's in ECA, and what's in Titan Complete. Look at the long list of those ingredients, and even if each one was like $5 or $10, it's still a good deal. Like,
Hey,
it's
Art,
crazy how much stuff is in
You
there.
got that bottle of that vitamins that you were showing me the other day?
Oh, I can pull it up on the screen.
This is all right.
You're
So
getting like 10.
Oh, boy.
have you?
getting a
all right,
lot.
so you look at the back of vitamins, and then you right.
Oh,
So let's pull this up because this is just funny. Me and Art were looking at this the other day, and you'll probably get a kick out of it. And I haven't looked at the back of a supplement bottle in a long time.
Yeah.
Usually, unless somebody asks me like, hey John, can you look at this? The supplement for me, and I'll look at the back of it. Like, all right, it's got this and this in it. All right, this might be all right, but. I'll always give people an honest answer. But when we were looking at the back of this, it has nutritional value for the day.
First one we
And one was like, it had methylcobalamin, which is B12,
B12,
right? 500 micrograms was like 2,000% of what your daily nutrition was supposed to be. So it's just crazy, some of these different things. So, specifically, let's go to the B12. So, 2,080% of what your body is supposed to have nutrition-wise per day. So, let's just talk about Titan Complete. B12 in there is 1,000 micrograms. That's absorbing a lot better than this oral version is going to do it because you're probably going to get 20% at most out of this. So you're absorbing a lot more. You're getting a lot more bang for the buck here for sure. So, when we look at the back of these things, how do you get 360% of your daily value or 1,000%?
Yeah,
it's just crazy. What
I've
some of these
seen
people have this.
ones that literally say 28,000%.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one that we saw yesterday.
the one. If you go to it's like a little small. It's a little small container. It's kind of like an emergency type thing.
Unbelievable.
Begins with a Z.
Unbelievable.
But that stuff it literally says 28, and the other one says 43,000% of B12.
So I don't want to knock some of the companies on. I'm not here to knock anybody, but it's just when I look at some of these different labels on here and what you're getting through us, it's a game changer as far as what you're getting for sure.
And all those percentages are going right in the toilet as soon as you drink a gallon of water and start sweating or whatever. You're gonna
absorption rate, transportation rate, how you feel.
You're gonna excrete all of it, like half of it,
for
more
sure.
than half.
All right, Henry.
And not only that, all those fillers in there too.
Yes.
Think about all those fillers. So you're excreting fillers and everything. It's
having
like,
to process through the liver,
yeah.
putting more stress on the liver. I mean, there's a lot of things that go along with it. Henry Fitness, what's going on? Mark O said, Titan has changed my life. That's two. That's awesome. Strength Addicts in the building. Appreciate it, man. GTEO.
Wayne Day back on there.
Absolutely. Dwayne Day, my dude. I know he had a question up on the other one up there.
Yeah, I got you.
King Darius, what's going on? Lavish, what's up? Guy Veer, how you doing? Dennis, just starting out. Need to lose body fat first in game. Where do I start? Okay, so when we talk about this, when a lot of people ask me about weight loss, we get a lot, people calling like, listen, I need to start a weight loss program. My first question to them is, how old are you? And if you say, listen, I'm over 30 years old, have you had your hormones checked? Where are you at body weight, right now, height-wise, how much activity you're doing? These questions will all come into play.
And also, are they dieting?
Right.
A lot of time people have been dieting already. They've been doing it their own way. They've been eating healthy, doing their own exercise or whatever program. It has been working. That's why they hit us up and we can take them to the next step.
Absolutely. So with that, listen, the first place to start, usually if you're underneath 30, you might not need hormones. So ECA Stack Plus is a good one. Titan Complete, like we were talking about, the Trifecta. And you guys get a discount by getting the Trifecta, all three together. All three together are $490. So it's $490. If you got one of, let's say Hercules Potion, it's $275. Titan Complete's $275. Right there, you're almost there. And then ECAs can go around $90, $100 for 30 caps. So you're definitely getting a discount on that Trifecta. So that might be a good way to start. If you're over 30, blood test. See where you're at with all your hormones, making sure those are all balanced. Because if you have your hormones balanced, it's going to do a lot of different things for your body and helping it change in a lot of different ways. From boosting your metabolism, right? For helping your body be able to build more lean mass, being stronger, more energy. There's a lot of different things that are going to come into play. So at that point, I would start there if that's what you're asking. And if you say, listen, I don't want to do blood testing, I want to maybe do hormones, start off. If you want to start with just one program, ECA Stack Plus. That's one that would go as long as you're healthy and everything's good there. If you're not so healthy in the cardiovascular area, there's some different other therapies that we can do, like Titan Complete or something like AOD 9604.
Oh, yeah.
That's another good one.
AOD can be in a capsule form, too, for you all. You guys don't like needles, too.
All right, so with IGF-1, how much microgram dosage pre or post-workout for muscle growth? All right, so there's not a lot of studies as far as for muscle growth, exactly how much you're going to get. But IGF or IGF-1, whatever you're using, will make a difference in how long it's going to exactly stay in the body as far as half-life and when you have to inject it. But usually you're talking about, 20 micrograms, 25 micrograms at least. And bilaterally, you might want to do 50 micrograms. You're doing 25 in one muscle and 25 in the other muscle. So if it's biceps you're trying to get bigger, obviously you want to be symmetrical. You want to be, you're looking right on both sides. You don't want one side being huge and one side not being so huge because it'll look stupid. Yeah. So at that point, you'll look like one of those synthol guys.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because they can never get it right.
Yeah.
But at that point, for muscle growth, IGF-1, if you're doing it pre-workout, I would do 25 micrograms bilaterally, or you can even cut that dose in half. You want to start at 12.5 and 12.5.
Any muscles that they shouldn't put the IGF? It's pretty much anywhere you could tolerate it.
And and it's water based.
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's no pain. It's literally it's like nothing. So
a lot of guys have been taking injectables for years.
Yeah.
5, 10, 50, even 20 years, that have never experienced a water-based injectable.
Yeah.
Guys, it is the smoothest injection you've ever taken in your life. Like,
absolutely.
People are like, when they hear that word injection, they automatically think of bathtub sippinate that's like thick. Yeah. It's like canola oil.
Yeah.
It's not even pharmaceutical grade, but there's no cleaner, like smoother film. And
no.
Even loading in a water-based.
Yeah.
Loading away at load is so smooth.
Yeah, it comes out real nice, fast. It's very effective. So IGF-1 is very effective for building lean muscle mass.
Lagging body parts, I would say. Too.
Lagging body parts, but also overall health, anti-aging properties, weight loss properties. So there's a lot of different good things that go with IGF-1.
Now can they put the IGF-1 with the Hercules? Since they're both water-based and they're both spot injected before you train.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, even with me right now, what I've been doing is since the 40th birthday, this last weekend, like this week, like I've kicked it up like a notch. I'm gonna fucking turn it up. I'm serious. So
Shout out to John.
I'm ready to go.
Turned 40 last
ready to go.
weekend and got the body of a 20-year-old.
Yes,
thanks to the name on his shirt.
Thanks to Titan Medical
Thanks to
Center
Titan
Therapies.
Medical, that's right.
You know, because even when I started, I tell people this too, and it's the truth, man. I look back and when we started, right, and at that point I was going for more size, but aesthetically, mentally, physically, like overall, like I just came so much farther in these 9 years. Looking better overall, feeling better, and definitely, mind wise, like I'm just in tune and laser focused. Like you wouldn't believe.
There's nothing better than taking off your shirt comfortably.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like you feel big and you're like, I feel big. Everything I feel big. And people are like, you look so big. You look so big. You want to go to the beach? I don't know. It's like, there's nothing better. Like, hey, you want? No problems.
No problems, man. Photo shoot ready every day we go, man. I mean, and that's the ultimate goal, man. Looking good and feeling good and performing your best. It's not about the biggest or anything like that. It's quality over quantity. We were just talking about this earlier. That's anything you do. I'll say it a million times because it's the truth. What's the best regimen to gain muscle mass? I'm currently finishing IGF-1 stacked with Test, Hercules, and Titan. I've got 30 days left of my current regimen. All right, Fess. So, best to gain muscle mass. MK677.
Yeah, definitely say MK6.
That's if anybody asks me like, hey John, like what's the best thing I could do to gain muscle mass? Not like lean muscle mass, but like I want to put on mass, I want to put on strength. Like this is what the goal is. Definitely MK677. You know, and that's going to help increase your eating. So at that point, it's going to help in a lot of different ways, recovery, strength, and all that. But eating, so eating is the key. You know, eating is going to definitely help you, grow. And that's what you want to do. If you don't eat, you can't grow. And I don't care what you are. You start.
Not unless you haven't hit puberty yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, at that point, eating's only going to help you.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you got to get nutrients in there, and you got to get your food, and you got to get the protein. Because if you're doing all this activity, you're working out, and you're breaking down that muscle, you definitely need time to recover, and you need the food and nutrients to get you back up to strength.
One thing I will say, too, with MK677, I don't notice that much bloat from it. Certain things I eat or take make me bloated. I'm always conscious about being bloated.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice it with MK677. Even though I was eating a lot,
Yeah.
it's like, damn, where's the food going? I'm hungry again. I'm not bloated. My stomach's growling. I ate like 45 minutes ago. So I don't really notice that much bloat. I do eat a lot more. I do gain maybe a little bit of water. But I mean, unless you're like a competitive bodybuilder, you can't really tell. If you're just a regular gym goer, I mean, if you're going on stage, you could tell.
Yeah.
But when I take MK67, I don't really notice like, oh, I'm losing definition or I'm losing veins. I mean, I gain a little bit of size, but it's just I'm fuller. Like my muscles have a 3D look to them where they're popping out all the time. They're always full. The glycogen's like crazy.
It's really up to the person, right? So with Drew, he's very regimented. He's disciplined at what you do. He really is. Like literally, he looks it over. He knows what he's doing. Like he thinks about what he's going to do before he does it, which is awesome. A lot of people out there are not as regimented or not as disciplined as Drew. They just aren't. So when you're not having your nutrition on point, you're not drinking enough water, you're not doing these different things, you're going to gain bad weight with MK because you're going to get hungry, you're going to eat all the garbage in there, processed. Like, if you go in a house and, like, you got kids and, like, you got all their junk food and all that shit in there, you're going to go in there, you're going to eat all these different foods and all this different stuff, and, you're going to gain that bad weight, too. So just watch out with MK. That's my only cautious thing with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep bad food in your house.
If you're regimented, you're disciplined, or you think you can do it like that as far as nutrition, definitely do it. If you're not, get disciplined for the 30 days you're going to do it. Drink a lot of water, right? So you're flushing the water out, and train hard. Get all the gains you possibly can from it.
And if you're a hard gainer, if you're someone that's been skinny or lean your whole life, and now you're a bodybuilder or you're getting ready for competition, depending on who it is, I could even have a client take MK677 going into a show.
Oh, for sure.
You need to have your calories high, if your diet's on point, if you're already lean anyways, your supplementation's on point, you got your blood work, everything's good.
Yeah.
You could take MK going into the show. It's going to help you get your meals in. Because I know when I take MK677, I don't care if it's brownies or plain white rice. I need to eat.
Yep.
So it's not just about, quote unquote munchies where you want to eat bad food. You just want to eat.
Oh no, you just get hungry.
If you're having problems getting your food down, MK7, I would literally recommend it just for people having problems getting their food down.
Yes, and there's a lot of people out there like that. Like, man, I just can't eat. I feel so full all the time. And, I need to eat because I need to get these calories in.
Yeah.
That's where you use these tools, right? And these tools will help, do the job a lot better. And definitely MK, like you can literally eat, take that bad boy, probably by 20, 25 minutes later, you're going to want to eat again.
It's crazy.
That hunger hormone kicks in and you're eating. What up, Icebox? Chris Zuzi, what's going on? Dwayne Day, all right, my man. Hey, John, I'm going to put Hercules Potion into my shoulder, after my shoulder for my physical therapy. I can't wait to get my BBC 157 in the mail. All right, so with that, Dwayne, be careful with taking the Hercules Potion in the shoulder that you just had surgery on. The reason. Now, it's going to increase blood flow to the area, which should help heal the area, but you don't want it to be, you don't want pain in there. Like, that pump might be so hard, you might get pain in the area. So I want you to just be careful, maybe back down the dose a little bit and go on there and then do the therapy. And that's really good. The BPC 157 is going to help you as far as that goes. Game changer. Game changer for me, man. It's definitely helped me in so many different ways.
And where you're going to put it in the shoulder makes a difference too. I mean,
Absolutely.
the shoulder's big. You can go, front delt, side delt. I like rear delts.
Yeah.
If your shoulder injury was more in the front, I would put it more farthest away from where the injury was.
Maybe.
But then again, I would ask your doctor. I would ask see if they can put something in there.
Yeah,
Hercules works throughout your whole body too, so it's not just going to hit that one muscle. Yeah, you are going to feel it where you put it
For sure.
but you're going to get a pump all over regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even probably inject the Hercules right in the shoulder, just because, at that point, if you're going to stick yourself twice to BBC and Hercules in there, you don't want to do that. Just stick yourself with a BPC closest to the injury, but not too close. If you're having where the slice is at for the shoulder where they went in, try to do as close as possible, but don't go by the wound, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because if you go in there looking to get a pump as you're recovering,
oh,
I don't know about that one.
T.O. Prep, what's going on, Dwayne? All right. George Counts, FMF Dion, Jeremiah. Big Rod's in the house. Marcus.
Big Rod.
Right? Big Rod. George, what's going on? Big Boy, 7. David V Alpha. Coach Dracos, what's going on? How you guys doing? Sky Biscuit. NPC Dusty, 50 over 50. Big guy. You got any experience with BPC 157? Of course. So BPC 157, we use it here. It's a body protection compound. As far as that goes, it's awesome for healing joints, ligaments, tendons, muscles, as far as where you get surgery, as far as the wounds, inflammation in the body, it definitely helps as far as that goes. So a lot of great things with BPC 157 as far as for healing. All right. Tamarian, Kahira, up at 4 a.m., train at 5:30, then work and train at 3:30 p.m.
That's hardcore.
Woo! That's
Wait,
a
hold on. You
day.
said up at 4, trains at 5:30, then goes back to train at 3:30.
Well, no, he 4 a.m. he gets up, trains at 5:30, then work, then comes back and trains at 3:30 p.m.
Doing 2 days after waking up at 4. That's a tight.
God
day
bless
right
you,
there.
man. That's some dedication
Hulk
right
Squad.
there. Hulk Squad doing it right. Omar Huda, Mexican Savage in the house. Louis M. Lena, how you doing? Big guy. All right, so how does Tight work? Do you got to become a patient to buy these products? So Tight Medical Center is just that. We're a full-fledged medical center. And everything that we do is prescribed and comes from a U.S. licensed pharmacy, and it's prescribed by a medical doctor or medical provider. Yes, you would have to fill out the new patient paperwork and see our medical provider to receive or buy any of our therapies. If it's hormone replacement therapy, like testosterone or IGF-1 therapy, you need blood work for that. All the other therapies, like ECA Stack Plus, or TRIFECTA, like Hercules Potion, Time Complete, all those other ones, like BPC 157 and all that, you do not need blood work. And we do service nationwide in everything that we do. So hormone replacement, peptides, weight loss, libido enhancers, which are really good and big, rejuvenation, detox, blood work, if I didn't say that one, because that one's that important to say twice if I didn't.
That's the foundation.
That's the foundation for
Yeah.
sure. Knowing what's going on inside. And a lot more. So just call or text us 727-389-3220. Workout is way more intense. I have much more energy during the day. My vascular is much better. My mood is much better. I mean, so many benefits that change my regular day.
Sounds like a perfect caption for my next post.
For real.
Good job.
Huge.
That was good.
That's awesome, dude. I'm
love
glad
it.
that Tight Medical Center and those therapies alone, just Hercules Potion and Time Complete, which are injectable vitamin amino acid blends. That's awesome. If that can improve your life that much, that's great. I mean, you haven't even talked about hormones or anything like that. Everybody goes to hormones. Hormones are the foundation and key if you need them. But if you don't and you're trying to take your thing to another next level, I mean, that's the best thing afterwards. IBB Pro Alex. So Alex works out at at MI40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he trains in there all the time. So if you see a guy, he's usually filming himself and stuff like that.
Nice.
Good way to do your self promotion. Way to do it, man.
Shout out to MI40 too.
Yep. Shout out to Big MI40 for sure. Before I got hospitalized with COVID, pneumonia, I was at gym 3:45 and work at 5 for an average of 14 hours, then dinner in bed by 8 p.m. Sorry about COVID. I'm glad you got over COVID, man. You know, a lot of people I know, have been hospitalized, or I know people have literally died from COVID or had to learn how to walk. Wife was in the ICU with it. So I understand how COVID affects so many different people in so many different ways. So God bless you out of there. Now it's just getting you back and get you straight. Lavish 989. Wife is starting your test therapy Monday. How much more beneficial will the Titan Complete be for her? So it just depends on what she's doing. Now Titan Complete is going to be awesome. It's going to help with a lot of different things. Just depending on what her goals are, right? So Lavish, let me know. And the testosterone therapy should definitely help her. Make sure when she's taking her therapy, she's being very consistent about it. And then if she thinks that things can be better or things aren't changing, make sure she communicates with the office. Once you're a patient, you guys can call or text the office, and you're going to get service right away by a medical provider or one of the medical staff and get you the answers or get things changed or taken care of, whatever you guys need.
Yeah, they're always picking up the phones, guys.
Oh.
So it's not going to be a situation where you call and you're transferred. Please hold, please hold.
Yes.
You're going to get someone when you call.
Oh, yes, for sure. O'Neens, Miguel, Milo, what's going on? R Double, Mass Monster, KG Preto, Wolf of Sports. What's going on, Mr. Happy Joint?
Where are you
Hadley.
guys calling in from, too?
Right, you
I'd
guys
like to know where you guys are at.
For sure. Let us know what state or where you guys are calling from. Scott, my man out in St. Pete, I think that's where he's at, right?
Brandon, Tampa.
Brandon, I'm sorry. Can you inject IGF-1 currently in my biceps, and would it help me gain size if I inject in my biceps? So yes, you can spot inject IGF-1 therapy. You can do it in the biceps or wherever you want to train. That's what I would do. So if you're training biceps, definitely inject in the biceps. It will definitely help gain some lean muscle tissue in there, I think, for sure.
Also, too, if you're going to inject your biceps, just move it around slightly. Like, it could literally be like a half or a quarter of an inch. Move it around.
Yeah.
A lot of times people, if they have a tattoo, they'll mark where they're going to inject on their tattoo, and they'll literally go in the same spot every day. Like I said earlier, you might get scar tissue. So if you're going here, just move it a little bit over or a little bit down. Move it just a little bit around so you're not sticking into the same hole over and over again.
Yep. It's good. Definitely good stuff. I'm 40 years old, IGF-1 and Test E, starting this with your team. What can I stack on top for strength?
MK,
dude. Listen, you got IGF-1 you're starting out with. I'd start with that just to see how things are going right away. But if you really want to gain up, like he said, like MK is like another one you can throw on top of there. Usually you don't want to stack IGF-1 with MK677 because it kind of almost do the exact same thing, except for the hunger portion. IGF-1 is definitely not going to increase that hunger like you will with MK. So that's the difference. So if you need to increase calorie intake and stuff like that, you might want to do the MK along with it. Other than that, Hercules Potion, for sure. You're an IGF-1 and Test E. Hercules Potion is going to be another big one that you're going to want to possibly do on top of it. It's going to help with train recovery, which is going to help, obviously, with building up strength or doing more sets. So that's definitely another good one.
Also, if you guys are getting strong faster than your ligaments and connective tissue is, you might want to add that BPC or that TB500 as you're getting stronger, so that way you're not going to have any injuries. If you're getting if you're getting strong so fast and getting big so fast, your muscles everything's going good. You're eating, but your ligaments, your cartilage, your connective tissue is like a little bit. It'll pop.
Tendons.
So you want to keep that cartilage strong too. So if you guys are looking to get big, get strong, take it drastic, it's better to be safe to start. Run that BPC, even if you don't have any pre-existing problems. Run it now, so as you're getting stronger, your cartilage and connective tissues, your tendons are getting stronger, so they can catch up. So you're not, falling behind. Next thing you know, you pop something, you have a deformed bicep, and you're screwed.
That's the problem. So the problem is that muscles grow faster and they get stronger than tendons and joints and connective tissue, like Drew said. And that's where most of injuries happen because people are starting to increase so fast, muscle are getting so big, lean mass, and strength. And strength along with it is because of the muscle, right? And you're putting up more weight, you're putting more strain and stress, Now, the muscles can take it, but the tendons and joints and the connective tissue cannot take it. It takes longer for them to get stronger and be able to handle that much weight or that much activity on them. So you have to. It's a good plan. Doing pre maintenance pretty much, or maintenance to your tendons, your tissues. Even with recovery, with BPC and TB500, the way that works too as well, it helps with healing because it increases blood flow to the areas.
Yeah.
And
Get
doing
a
this,
pump,
the pump and the recovery factor to those muscles and stuff like that, just another big benefit of it. So, good information for sure. All right, so last week you had a guy here on who was Dwayne Day, saying he injects his abs. What was the product?
Oh, that's
called?
what Dwayne. I remember the name
Yeah.
Dwayne. That's why I said
Yeah.
it's something. Okay.
So Hercules Potion.
Yeah.
Hercules Potion was what Dwayne was talking about, how he injects his abs. So you can spot inject Hercules Potion in these different muscles. That's why I was saying, like, if you wanted, to add something on top of what you're doing right now, that's a game changer for sure. Hercules Potion, 100%, and you can inject it. Now I've never done abs. Have you tried the abs yet?
I haven't tried it, but I mean, I'm thinking of a day I go to the beach. That thing's gonna be just the whole day.
I'm gonna try it before I do anything outside, just in case.
Yeah. Oh no, not the day of. I'll test it before then. But I always like to. I like to give accurate answers. I don't like to put application behind. I don't like to just theory. So I might, I want to try it to see.
Absolutely. And that's the way me and Drew work. Like, we won't say something's good unless we literally
Yeah,
try
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, we're approved and tested. Like, all right, like, this is good. Like, we're just not going to stamp our signature on something like, oh, this is good, without us even knowing what the hell it is or how it works. But
I pretty much tried every type. I mean, there's certain things I haven't tried, like the AOD, certain things. But for the most part, I'm like you. Once I find something I like, I stick to it. And, it has to be trial and error to really know.
In theory, right? So not even in theory. If you inject in your abs, you're gonna pump out your abs. It is what it is. 'Cause it's gonna increase vascularity and pump, especially in those areas in those muscles. So if you do all 6 of them, it should pump out those muscles pretty
Maybe
good.
you could do like not a whole ml, but even if you did like half or
25
quarter,
units maybe.
Yeah, 0.25 in each.
Yeah, each one going down. I mean, it might be
And
a
then
little bit more
bump
than
it
ML,
up to
but
maybe 1. But that's that's a tiny muscle group. And if you guys have done Hercules in your biceps or shoulders, think of the pump you get in your bicep. Like, think of the pump I would get in my bicep.
Yep.
And you can see how big it is. And then the ab is so small.
Yep.
So that thing's gonna be like jumping
gonna
out.
protrude.
Yeah, I remember Willie
abs.
Winkler caught a cramp in one of his shows, pro bodybuilder, top 5 in the world guy. He caught a cramp, and you could see how it was just like sticking out. It was like it looked almost painful, and it was a cramp. So I'm just thinking pain wise, like, is that gonna? But my crazy ass is gonna like the fact that I can feel it because it's gonna be sticking out. You guys go to the gym, you get a crazy pump in your bicep. Yeah, it hurts, but you like that feeling.
No.
So it's like if I do it and I'm walking around at the beach and my abs are hurting, I'm like, yeah, but they're poking out.
Yeah, they're protruding out, man.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So what's the benefit of CJC? So, if I was asking this, so CJC 1295 is an injectable GHRH. It's a growth hormone releasing hormone peptide. And the benefits of it helps stimulate your own pituitary to produce your own natural growth hormone, which then gives you all these great benefits of, of growth hormone. So anti-aging effects, properties, recovery levels, libido, skin elasticity, hair, skin, nails, mood enhancement. This is all goes along with IGF-1. That's why IGF-1 straight, IGF-1 LR3 is really the way to go. But CJC 1295 is good because it stimulates your own and it has your body working itself and creating that pulse to stimulate in there. Now, to put it together with us, CJC 1295 with Imperalin, 2 different peptides, will both work together synergistically to help produce more of your own growth hormone and hit that pulse going up there to produce it a lot more. So that's the difference of that. Now, MK677 is the only oral GHRH. So it's just like CJC, but it's an oral form. But this one will stimulate, obviously the hunger hormone more, where CJC 1295 and Imperalin really don't stimulate as much. And it should too, but it doesn't have that effect like that.
We have someone who's asking for what's up with post-GERD surgery.
Yep. I just seen that on there right here.
Probably have to be a little bit more specific. Are you asking about a specific therapy you could take?
Oh yeah.
For your post-GERD surgery?
This is a no-brainer for us.
Right.
BPC 157. TB500 if you really want to amp it up, a BPC for sure, especially with GERD and stuff like that. I've seen these surgeries go down, and you want to get rid of that GERD for sure. And this is definitely going to help as far as post-surgery, help with the healing factor, and recovery.
Yeah, definitely better than popping Zantac or Prilosec all day long.
For
then
sure.
Then you have a whole nother. I mean, with the Zantac thing, they're having all these lawsuits and stuff. They took it off the shelves. I used to take Zantac every day because I had GERD. Now it's like, nah.
Yeah. So, especially the reason we say BPC over TB500, especially in this situation scenario, is because we're talking about stomach. Now, BPC is derived from the gastric juices in the stomach. So it's great for stomach issues like ulcers, IBS, these different things. So GERD, like I said, it's a home run with BPC 157. All right, so you can use Big Drew's heating trick with oil-based test before injecting because it will thin the oil, so it's more viscosity injects. Yeah, so it's less viscosity and injects easier.
It's talking about warming up.
Yeah,
Thing it down. Yeah, don't boil it, guys.
Don't boil it, guys.
Don't recook it. I've heard people say, "I'm gonna just recook it."
Don't do that.
Don't do that. I've heard people of getting a pot of boiling water and they take it in boiling water. You don't need to recook it. Just a little bit more than room temperature. Give it time to actually, warm up.
13-minute warning, gentlemen.
All right. So another way is viscosity-wise. Now, I wouldn't recommend this, but there's different ways that you can heat up your syringe too. So if you want to go in more smoothly and it's not as thick, you can heat up that syringe by a number of different methods. One method is, and I wouldn't recommend this. I'm not even going to talk about it because I don't want to recommend it. So sorry, guys. I'm not going to talk about it, but there are different ways to heat up the syringes.
Right.
They put it underneath the tap, hot water.
The only thing, if you put it, you don't want to put it underneath the tap water because then it's going to go. You're going to have water. If the cap's not tight, it might get in there.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't want to. If you guys have a heating pad, a dry heating pad.
There you go.
The folding ones, like the plug-in ones that people use on, older people or whoever uses
there you go.
A small heating pad. You can even buy one for $10 just for this process, for this thing.
Yep.
Put a couple of your syringes in there, or if you only have one, put it in there. Fold it. The heating pad is going to touch your skin. It's not going to burn your skin, so it's not going to burn. It's not going to recook the product. Just keep it in there for a little bit. Or if you want to get old school, get some rice. Put some rice into a sock, obviously a clean sock. Use that. You can make a homemade heating pad by doing that. If you don't have a heating pad, you need to make one. Get a sock, put rice in it, put that in the microwave, and once that's heated out, then you can set your syringe and just don't push it into it. Just let it sit on top so that warm, gets in there. Anything with good warmth, but you don't want to recook it.
No.
You don't want it to be boiling and no.
No, don't want to do that. Yeah. I want to break sidewalks like you two soon. So you definitely will, man. It's time, man. Time, a lot of training, a lot of eating too, for sure. Correct. All right, thank you. How do I get this supplement from you guys? So, guys, if you guys want to become a patient and take advantage of any of our different therapies, like we talked about, or more, like our BPC, Hercules Potion, Titan Complete, hormone replacement therapy, blood work, whatever it is, all you guys got to do is call or text us, 727-389-3220. The staff is going to walk you through the process. It's real simple, especially BPC 157. You're going to fill out the new patient paperwork, which you can go to our website and fill out the new patient paperwork there. And it's online, so it's very simple and easy. After that, you're going to see our medical provider. You can do this from the comfort of your home, your office, wherever you're at, maybe a lunch break, on your phone, your tablet, or your computer. It's that simple. If you're in the area, come into our facility. We'd love to see our patients. You guys will love the place. We'll give you some free swag, and you'll have just a great Titan experience. So we'd love it.
Now, if they fill out the new patient paperwork, they fill it out, they order their ECA, whatever they can order without needing blood work.
Right.
If they want to reorder, they don't have to fill out their paperwork again
No.
because we have it on file. If they need to reorder, what's the process for once they filled out the paperwork the first time?
Sure.
Like I said, I filled it out today. I ordered my ECA, my Hercules.
Yep.
It's been a month or whenever later. Now I want to go reorder. What is the process to go on and reorder?
So, guys, it's real simple and easy. So what happens is once you fill out the new patient paperwork, you see the medical provider. You do that first.
That's over the phone.
So it's over a video conference.
Okay.
When I
So
say
they don't have to come in.
yeah, phone
Okay.
phone like this. So I don't tell people, but I say by video conference. So Skype or FaceTime. If you have an Apple product, it's going to be FaceTime. If you don't, like an Android or just don't care to have an Apple product, it's going to be Skype. And you're going to see the medical provider face to face. They're going to hear you. You're going to hear them. Okay. Once that's out of the way, you're going to be able to order your therapy package. You're going to put in your initial order. Okay, everything's going to be paid for. U.S. Pharmacy is going to ship directly to you guys, wherever you guys are at. And at that point, anytime after that, you have a question, concern, maybe you want to order a Hercules Potion 3 days later after your initial order.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys can call or text us here at the office. The staff is going to be able to take care of you. They're going to answer any questions or any concerns. Maybe you had a problem with an injection. Maybe you have a question about an injection after you watch the videos. Maybe you want to reorder, or you just want to order Hercules Potion or ECH. Like, man, this first 2 shots of Time Complete were awesome. Like, what else can I do? Let me step it up. But when it comes to reordering, so every 28 days, our medical staff should be getting a hold of you via call you, text you, email you. At that point, they're going to ask you, first question, how are you doing? Because that's really what we're here for. We're here to see how you're doing, how you're feeling, how are the therapies helping you. At that point, give us your honest response. So we know, hey, do we need to change some things up? Do we need to look at some different options? At that point, listen, everything's good. I want to reorder Hercules Poster, Time Complete, or ECAs, whatever it is, no problem. So at that point, if they didn't get hold of you in 28 days, and you're kind of running low, you're like, oh, man, I want to get this, call or text us in. They can call or text. You're going to be able to reorder right over the phone, calling us, not having to do a video conference with a medical provider, just calling the medical staff. We're going to put everything through. Then the medical provider is going to look at it behind the scenes, make sure everything's good with your script and your medical history. At that point, the script's going to go over to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy is going to ship directly to you guys.
Pretty simple.
It's
pretty simple. Once you fill out the paperwork, you just call back and let us know what you need, and it's that
After
easy.
you make your initial order, we'll be contacting you, or you can contact us anytime for anything.
Okay.
At that point, if somebody hasn't contacted you and you want to be proactive, please call or text us. We'll take care of you guys. Very simple, very easy, and work with you guys on your schedule, whatever it is. Okay?
Got someone asking if they recommend a protein shake or mass gainer. I wouldn't. I would just eat real food.
Yep.
You don't need all the fillers in there. Like,
Yep.
you know, if you take a multivitamin tablet from like the store, whatever, there's a bunch of fillers. There's a hell of a lot more fillers in those protein powders.
Yep.
You only need like 4 of the ingredients out of the 100 that are on there.
Yep.
So I would just get it from real food. Or if you want to do your natural shakes like I do, you could do egg whites, oatmeal, fruit, whatever. But just put your real food in the blender and blend it up. You don't need those shakes.
Yep.
It's kind of like a marketing thing.
Absolutely.
They may taste good. They may tell you it has all these BCAAs and has so many carbs and this and that.
Yep.
But again, it's not real food. It's actually a supplement.
Yep.
Supplementation means it's not as good as the real thing.
That's correct.
So I would definitely just go with real food or a real shake.
Yeah, so real food is the key. You know, it is what it is. Like, I don't take any oral supplements. Like, with protein shakes, and we just did a video on this. This is really good that we brought this up. So you don't need it, right? People ask me all the time, like, what protein shakes or mass gainers should I start out with? I'm getting back into things. You don't need it. Eat food, man. I'm telling you, food's your best source. Now, if you don't have a food source around you, and you're like, oh man, like I haven't eaten in a couple hours, you might want to look at a shake if you need to, but I would look at the back and try to get as less ingredients as possible.
That's like an emergency situation.
It's an
like,
emergency
keep
situation,
Keep a
man.
tub of, and then again too. I mean, you have to not just grab the crappiest,
Yes.
cheapest one. A lot of times people have a shake and they'll get one that tastes good, but it won't agree with their stomach. Or they'll get one that
That's 'cause
has
the
all
garbage
the
that's
they'll
in
get the
there.
one that has all the ingredients they need. But then a lot of times, if you drink a shake, it's hard to eat after.
Yeah.
So it's like it just messes you up. So
It's
I don't know.
fulfilling, you know?
It's like an emergency type thing. I mean, if you're gonna choose not to eat or have a shake, obviously go with the shake.
Yeah,
But at the same time,
for sure.
I mean, just get some real food.
Yeah,
Get
I
some
mean-
real food.
You know, even with me, like sometimes, like I'll be in the car, like right now, like what I'm doing is like I'll try to get more protein in. Obviously, if you're trying to gain lean muscle mass,
Right, right.
right? So at that point, man, if you're in a bad situation, you look for a shake. If not, try to get real food in, good food. I mean, just depending on what you're gonna eat too. Is like there's only McDonald's, Burger King around you, which there never is.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can always look at some of these different options and stuff
Yeah.
like that out there, but.
It's a lot of times too. People only get their calories. If they're trying to gain weight, or if they're trying to get big or just be consistent, they're only getting their meals actually at their meals. You could snack in between your meals to get your calories in, to get your fats up, to get your protein up.
Yeah.
So it's not just about, I have to eat 6 meals a day. I have to get all my calories, all my protein and fats in these meals.
Yeah.
If you can't get them in those meals, you don't want to be sitting there where you're feeling sick because you're eating so much.
Right.
Only eat half that weight now, or you can get stuff. Like this is stuff I snack on, like these little balls right here. It's all natural. It's got hemp, organic flaxseed, oats, peanut butter, fruit, coconut. I mean, it's all natural stuff. So if I snack on this, have a couple of these in between my meals, easy way, real food to get your protein up.
There's some different ways out there. And there's some different tasting good stuff out there, and there's some different people I've seen out there that have been creating like what Drew has, like something that's healthy, that'll get you some protein and stuff like that, or maybe get you some other energy and stuff like that, or have different things in there you might need. It might taste decent. 'Cause that's what it's all about, tasting
4
decent.
minute warning, guys. 4 minute warning.
So we got 4 minutes, guys. All right, so we had a number of different topics to talk to you guys about. So I'll tell you what, Drew, you want to pick one topic? I'll pick one topic.
44 pounds of cocaine covered in cornflakes was seized.
I've seen that.
Craziness. I think it was like $3 million worth of cocaine.
Yep.
Basically, they pulled over the truck. They saw cornflakes. They looked at it, had grayish substance on it. It come down to be cocaine.
Unbelievable.
I thought it was kind of funny, kind of like Frosted Flakes. But, it's Frosted Flakes.
So the sugar is cocaine out there.
They're great.
They're great.
Have Tony the Tiger with his eyes like this.
Bloodshot big, right?
Yeah. So I thought it was...
$1 billion worth, too.
Oh, 1 million?
1 billion.
Oh,
Billion.
A billion.
That's a
Wow.
big difference right there.
Holy. I thought it was 3 million. Okay.
Wow, 992 pounds of cocaine.
That's months after the first one.
I think this might be a different one.
I don't know. There's a lot of cocaine coming.
Oh, no, 44 pounds. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So this is just something that we've been losing here in the United States. It's the war against drugs.
Yeah.
Ever since we started this war, billions and billions of dollars have went to go fight this war. We went to other countries like Colombia to fight this war. We've killed drug czars just to have 2 or 3 more pop up in their place.
Yeah.
It's never going away.
Yeah, I don't think it's going away. There's so much, and then they just had the biggest drug bust in Europe history. What was it? 43,000 pounds of cocaine. So there's all these huge drug busts going on, and these are just the ones that they're catching.
That's what I'm saying.
There's all kinds of other ones
That's
going
what I'm
on.
saying.
So
There's more than that.
They're decriminalizing drugs. They're catching drugs. There's still drugs coming in. It's kind of like, I don't
listen,
know.
the reason that the supply is so big coming in is because there's such a big demand. The demand has been here, and it's been all over the world, especially in drugs like cocaine or even marijuana. It was looked at one time as taboo or highly illegal, as Scheduled 1. That means no medical relevance whatsoever, like no medical benefit. And we know that's untrue. I'm not saying cocaine is one of them. I've never tried it, never done it, but at that point, decriminalizing these drugs looks like more of a better idea because it's not. It's not stopping it.
Yeah, make it like Holland or Amsterdam, where they just, crime is down, everything's legal. You just give treatment if they need it, decriminalize it. A lot of marijuana, they're decriminalizing, which is good. It used to be, a 16-year-old kid gets pulled over and has a joint in his pocket. He's doing 10 years. Come on, that's crazy taxpayer money. We don't spend that.
Yep.
So it's good that they're actually, decriminalizing
Absolutely.
something. If it's violence, if it's destroying stuff, but I don't really see marijuana destroying families.
No.
So, I don't know.
At that point, there needs to be control. If anybody breaks the law, then if they're in their home, all right, so this was one thing I just seen off topic that I see on the news. There's a professor at a really, really, huge, university, and at that point, he talks about how he does heroin every night. He, literally goes home and he snorts heroin in his house,
and he's a professor.
He's a professor at a major university. Major university. I don't want to say the university. I don't want to get sued, so... At that point, this guy says, he goes home, he does a couple lines of heroin. I wouldn't recommend that. Highly addictive.
I want to know what he's getting out of that. Not from the drug, but what's he getting out of going?
Creativity, relaxing.
No. What is he getting by telling his students that he's doing it? What is the point of that?
He was talking about decriminalization of drugs.
Oh, okay.
We got about it. You guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. All right. So, I guess that's it. I know. Listen, I was going to talk about one topic of mine, which the CDC is talking about how gyms are now the outbreak central, and they're just coming around these things because people are breathing harder in gyms and more particles are in the air.
Are they just now
figuring
all this?
Now they want to make sure, and everybody's wearing masks in the gym. No matter if you're working out or you're 6 feet from somebody, you need to wear a mask. You need to be 6 feet from a person, even if you're wearing masks. Guys, our population is so obese and overweight right now. It's so unhealthy. It's ridiculous. And we know that one big thing about COVID-19 is that usually the unhealthy you are, the worse you're off if you catch it. Yeah. Even if you're getting vaccinated, all these different variants, all this other different shit. So at that point, I don't know what's what. We've changed guidelines to CDC for so many times.
The working out with the mask, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard for me. Because I sweat like crazy and this big, huge beard on my face, that's going to be hard for me working with masks.
For real. And I've got the Under
I got
Armour
private
ones.
gyms I go to, but if I go to an actual gym, and
Like a crunch.
it's going to be,
Man. Anyway, so we got some events coming up. Naples Motorfest, that's 3/7. So next week, right after that, 3/14, we'll be at Festival of Speed in Orlando, down to Ritz-Carlton, that property. Me and Big Drew will be down there for sure, doing it up, seeing Orlando, visiting our peeps out there, and having a beautiful day with all those exotic cars.
Yeah, thanks to everybody that came out this past weekend, too.
Yep.
That was a great show, great cars out there. It was
Yeah.
a perfect day, perfect weather. It was always good in these car shows.
Absolutely. Festival of Speed, man, they put on a heck of a stuff. Joe and the whole crew of Festival of Speed, they always take care of us. Our third year out there this year. It'll be our third in Orlando, too, as well. Always a great time. We had the Titan Lambo out there, the C8 Corvette, Titan wrapped, and both of those things, the tents.
It looked nice. Looked nice in front of the tables
looked,
and everything.
It
That
looked
blue,
real nice.
That blue hits nice in that sunlight.
Man, for sure. The setup was awesome. We got some cool pictures. Got to talk to a lot of patients, and we got to talk to a lot of new patients that are coming on. So really, really cool just to be out there with the community and talking with everybody and having a good time. Plus, we had a beautiful day.
Yeah. Love beautiful days, man.
So,
So, it put me in a great mood when I walk outside. It's a beautiful
Absolutely.
day.
We appreciate all you guys tuning in from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all the other different social media platforms. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you.
Yes.
We
Listen
appreciate
to
it.
us all day, every day.
So we're going to officially sign off. You guys have a good weekend. I'm John from Titan. Anything else, Big Drew?
That's it. I'm Drew with Titan. We'll be back next Friday at 2 p.m. Every Friday at 2 p.m. You could tune into the podcast. Also, if you go to YouTube, hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we do stuff like this.
Yep.
And you could also hit the link in my IG for the new patient paperwork, which John was talking about earlier. And also, you could check in the Titan LinkedIn. It'll have the full lineup of all the Titan stuff that we have to offer.
That's the best. So we'll see you guys next week. Titan Lifestyle with Big Drew, 2 p.m. Have a
That's
great
it.
weekend.
Have a great week, guys.
Bye, guys.
This is Titan Lifestyle.